Hey everybody, welcome back. It's the Chrysler Concorde. Left tie rod is shot. Needs to be replaced. The bushings are junk. Not too long ago, I don't know if you've seen that video, I did the right side and I want to do the left side. This time I'm going to do something different. Not replacing the whole tie rod. I went ahead and ordered some high performance bushings. We're going to see if we can replace that bushing, and hopefully this will last a lot longer than the OEM shit. So let's get going. All right, to gain access to those tie rods, this whole airbox assembly has to come off. There's nothing to this. Pretty much you take off this clamp here. There's a pin here that comes off. Just pop the pin up and the whole thing slides out. Take the cover off the air filter and everything comes out of the way. Now what we got to do is we're going to turn the steering wheel to move that steering column over here so I can get to that nut. If you see those two bolts with that long bar, but those are the two nuts, all right? The one to the far side of the left side of the vehicle is the one I'm going to be taking off. That's the one that's shot to hell. And the one that's closer to us, on the right side of the vehicle, is the one I replaced not too long ago. Now, I'm not going to be able to show you as I take this apart, but it's pretty much just pull those tabs away, and then you got the bolt, and it comes right out. All right, once you get the car jacked up, you're going to turn the tire to the left. All right, left side tire to the left side to gain access to your tie rod. The simple ratchet, I think there's a 16mm socket. Yep, we'll get this nut off. You shouldn't have any problems with that. All right, once the nut's off from the tie rod, all right, or the outer tie rod I should say, take a good sized hammer and just hit the knuckle. And that should loosen it to come out. Now you're gonna pop this up and slide the whole assembly out. This bushing is shot to hell. Look at that. Junk. Such a shitty design. Well, what I'm going to do is, this is OEM. I bought a kit, an upgraded kit, and see if it works. Let's go to the bench. It's got a heavy duty plate, much heavy duty compared to the one we have on the car. Stick of pins. You can see the difference between that pin and that one. And the bushings are much, much harder. I mean, they're not even like rubber, they're like a super hard bushing. So the idea is the pin goes in, clean out the tie rod. What's nice about this is, as long as this is okay and this is not damaged, because what happens when these bushings wear completely out, the frame will begin to get damaged. So as long as there's no damage on this, you can reuse it. So you take your bushing, slide it through, and then this bushing goes on there, and that's all there is to it. It looks like a better design. We'll see how it holds up. Since I can't really show you on the car other than what I did earlier, this is the left side, and then you got the right side. Okay, you got this bushing, then you got this plate, and then you got this plate. All right, the bolt goes in there, and once it's all the way down, you got to bend these tabs up to hold the bolt in place so it doesn't loosen up on you. Now do these one at a time. Somebody told me something about the rack. If you take both of these off, it can jump and get misaligned. So I'm doing one side at a time. It's not very difficult. Once this bolt comes out, this pretty much just falls right out. And then I'll go ahead and do this side once this side's done. And that's all there is to this, believe it or not. Now it's the opposite of how you took it out. We're going to slide it through and put the outside on first. Put the nut back on. Okay, that's it for the outside. To make it easy, I'm going to put the whole assembly together. Metal plate and lock plate with the bolt. I'm going to slide it all through. All right. Once you get that other side started and in, you take off the other side. And it's the same thing. You just take off the nut on the tie rod, hit it with a hammer, like I did on the other side. It pops right out. And this is the right side tie rod. Now this is not in bad shape because it's fairly new, but it's already starting to get torn up. Now if I'm going to replace this, I'm going to have to heat this rubber, burn it right out of there. All right, and that's all it takes. And she's out. We're going to let this cool down before we put the other bushings in. Same thing with this one. Pin through the bushing. Get it in there. Bushing goes over it. This does not go in the front. It goes on the back side of the tie rod. So it goes on the back side. Not over here in the front, on the back side. So there's the new bolts, bushings on the tie rods. Installed, tabs are bent over, we're good to go. Alright, job is complete. A good size hammer is what you're going to need. Small hammer to bend those tabs back in. Screwdriver, 15mm socket with a ratchet. Half-inch ratchet would come in handy, gives you more leverage. And the 3/8, once you break those, you can work in there a little easier. Now, there's a lot of people on the internet or YouTube talking about to do these tie rods, you got to take this whole front end apart. I'm here to tell you, you don't need to do all that. I'm going to go over it again. Turn the steering wheel, bring those bolts over here. There's enough room, once you remove the air cleaner, to get under there and get to those bolts. All right, do one side at a time. Put the bolt in, take the other side out, put it back, and they're all bolted all back together. And don't forget the outer tie rods. Put them back in place on the tires themselves. Either way, if you replace the tie rods or you do the bushings, I do recommend alignment be done. You don't want to be off on the alignment. Any little bit will, you know, just wear your tires out a little faster. So it's always a good idea to get alignment done after you do any front end work, or any work that has to do with the alignment. Good idea with these vehicles. Just a tip that I've learned since I've owned this vehicle is every oil change, have the front end checked. Make sure you don't have any bad tie rods or tie rods that are starting to go bad, because you know what, that bushing kit is 15 bucks and it does both sides. A lot cheaper than replacing the tie rods themselves, or worse, a power steering rack or something else from all the damage or from all the banging around. It's just the design of the vehicle, and it's just the way it is. All right, everybody, please support the channel by subscribing, liking, sharing videos, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. You all have a great day. Bye-bye.